Have you ever wondered what secrets the elderly keep? Well, gather round. I'm 80 years old, and I've got some stories to tell. More importantly, I've got some advice to share. Advice that might just save you from a world of trouble. Let's dive into the 9 things you should never share if you're between 50 and 75. 1. Your real age. Age is just a number, but it's a number that carries a lot of weight in our society. Here's why you should keep it to yourself. Ageism is real, folks. It's subtle, but it's there. The moment you reveal your age, people start making assumptions. They might think you're less capable, less relevant, or less in touch with the modern world. It's not fair, but it happens. I've seen it firsthand. When I turned 65, I made the mistake of announcing it at work. Suddenly, younger colleagues started explaining simple concepts to me, as if my brain had suddenly shrunk. It was infuriating. But age concealment isn't about shame. It's about control. By keeping your age private, you maintain control over how people perceive you. You're not a number. You're a person with skills, experiences, and wisdom. Here's a trick I've learned. When someone asks your age, deflect with humor. Say something like, "I'm old enough to know better, but young enough to do it anyway." It keeps them guessing and keeps the conversation light. Remember, your age doesn't define you. Your actions, your attitude, and your approach to life do. Don't let a number dictate how others see you or how you see yourself. 2. Your exact income or net worth. Money talks, but it shouldn't shout. In this day and age, financial privacy is crucial. Here's why. Financial information is powerful. In the wrong hands, it can lead to exploitation, envy, or unnecessary judgment. I learned this the hard way when I came into some money in my 60s. Suddenly, everyone was my best friend, and distant relatives were coming out of the woodwork. But it's not just about protecting yourself from opportunists. It's about maintaining healthy relationships. Money can change how people see you, even if they don't mean to let it. Friends might start feeling inadequate or resentful. Family dynamics can shift uncomfortably. Moreover, in this digital age, financial information can be dangerous if it falls into the wrong hands. Scammers and fraudsters often target older adults, and knowing your net worth makes you a prime target. So, what do you do when people ask about your finances? Be vague. Say things like, "I'm comfortable," or "I'm getting by." If pressed, you can always say, "I prefer not to discuss finances." It's not rude, it's prudent. Remember, your financial status is between you, your spouse, if applicable, and your financial advisor. Everyone else is on a need-to-know basis, and most people don't need to know. 3. Your medical conditions. Health is wealth, as they say, but your health information should be treated like treasure, kept safe and shared sparingly. Here's why. Firstly, medical privacy is a right. You don't owe anyone an explanation of your health status, except your healthcare providers. Sharing too much can lead to unsolicited advice, pity, or even discrimination. I remember when I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I mentioned it casually at a family gathering. Big mistake. Suddenly everyone was policing my diet and lifestyle. It was exhausting and stressful, which ironically probably raised my blood pressure even more. Moreover, in this age of information, people tend to Google everything. Share that you have a certain condition, and suddenly everyone's an expert. You'll be bombarded with miracle cures and horror stories, neither of which are helpful. There's also the risk of being defined by your condition. People might start seeing you as the cancer survivor, or the diabetic, rather than as a whole person. It can be dehumanizing and frustrating. So, what's the solution? Be selective about who you tell and how much you share. Your close family and friends might need to know for practical reasons. But for everyone else, a simple, "I'm managing," or "I'm doing okay," is sufficient. Remember, your health journey is personal. You don't need to make it public to validate your experiences or challenges. 4. Family disputes. Family. They're the people we love, but sometimes they're also the people who drive us crazy. Here's why family disputes should stay within the family. Firstly, airing family dirty laundry rarely solves anything. Instead, it often makes things worse. When outsiders get involved, they only have part of the story. Their well-meaning advice or intervention can complicate matters further. I remember a big fight between my kids a few years back. I made the mistake of venting to a neighbor. Before I knew it, the whole neighborhood was taking sides. It turned a family issue into a community drama, making reconciliation even harder. Moreover, sharing family disputes can damage relationships permanently. Things said in the heat of the moment can be forgiven within the family. But once outsiders know, it's hard to take it back. You might move past the issue, but others will remember. There's also the risk of betraying confidences. What if you share something about one family member and it gets back to them? It can break trust and create new conflicts. So, what should you do when family issues are weighing on you? Find a neutral outlet. Write in a journal. Talk to a therapist. These are safe spaces to process your feelings without risking further damage to family relationships. Remember, every family has its issues. It's how you handle them that matters. Keeping disputes private shows respect for your family and gives you space to resolve issues without outside interference. 5. Your political views. Politics. It's a topic that can turn a friendly dinner party into a battleground. Here's why it's best to keep your political views to yourself. In today's polarized world, political views have become deeply personal. They're often tied to our values, our experiences, and our vision for the future. Sharing them carelessly can lead to heated arguments and damaged relationships. I used to love a good political debate. But as I've gotten older, I've realized something important. Most people aren't looking to have their minds changed. They're looking to change yours. And when they can't, things can get ugly fast. Moreover, in this digital age, expressing political views can have unforeseen consequences. A casual comment can be screenshotted, shared, and blown out of proportion. I've seen friendships of decades end over a single political post on social media. There's also the risk of being pigeonholed. Once people know your political leanings, they might start attributing everything you say or do to your politics. It can be frustrating and limiting. So, what's the solution? It's not about being apolitical. It's about being discreet. Vote in every election. That's your right and your duty. But you don't need to tell the world how you voted. When political topics come up, try neutral responses like, "It's a complex issue," or "I can see valid points on both sides." Then, steer the conversation to less controversial topics. Remember, your political views are just one part of who you are. Don't let them become the only thing people see when they look at you. 6. Your passwords and PINs. In this digital age, our lives are increasingly online. That makes our passwords and PINs more valuable than ever. Here's why you should guard them fiercely. Firstly, your passwords are the keys to your digital kingdom. They protect your emails, your social media, your online banking, and more. Sharing them is like giving someone the keys to your house, your car, and your safe all at once. I've seen the consequences of lax password security firsthand. A friend of mine shared his email password with his grandson to help with some tech issues. Months later, his identity was stolen. It turned out the grandson had written the password down and lost the paper. Moreover, sharing passwords can complicate relationships. What happens if you have a falling out with someone who knows your passwords? Or what if they accidentally misuse your accounts? There's also the legal aspect to consider. Many online services explicitly prohibit password sharing in their terms of service. You could be violating agreements without even realizing it. So, what should you do? Use a password manager to keep track of your passwords securely. Never write them down on paper or in an unsecured digital file. And if you absolutely must share a password, like with a spouse, change it regularly. Remember, in the digital world, your passwords are your first and often only line of defense. Guard them as carefully as you would guard your house keys or your credit cards. 7. Your regrets. We all have regrets. Things we wish we'd done differently. Paths not taken. But here's why you should keep them to yourself. Firstly, sharing regrets rarely changes anything. It doesn't undo the past. Instead, it can cast a shadow over your present and future. I learned this the hard way when I hit 70 and started dwelling on missed opportunities. Sharing these thoughts only made people view me as bitter or unfulfilled. Moreover, regrets are deeply personal. What you regret might seem trivial to others, or vice versa. Sharing can lead to misunderstandings or unwanted advice. I once mentioned regretting not traveling more when I was younger. For weeks after, people kept sending me travel brochures and suggesting senior tours. It was well-meaning but frustrating. There's also the risk of influencing others negatively. Your regrets are based on your unique experiences and perspective. Sharing them might unnecessarily discourage others from taking risks or pursuing dreams. So, what should you do with your regrets? Use them as fuel for personal growth. Let them motivate you to make the most of the present and future. If you need to process them, write in a journal or talk to a therapist. Remember, it's never too late to create a life with fewer regrets. Focus on what you can do now, rather than what you didn't do then. 8. Your true feelings about friends and family. We all have complicated feelings about the people in our lives. But here's why you should keep the negative ones to yourself. Firstly, words have power. Once you've expressed negative feelings about someone, you can't take them back. They're out there, potentially causing harm for years to come. I learned this the hard way when I vented about a difficult relative at a family gathering. The gossip spread, and family dynamics were strained for years. Moreover, feelings are fleeting. You might be frustrated with a friend today, but grateful for them tomorrow. If you've shared your momentary frustration, it might color how others see that friend permanently. There's also the risk of betrayal. The person you confide in today might not keep your confidence tomorrow. I've seen friendships end because of shared secrets and expressed frustrations. So, what should you do when you have negative feelings about friends or family? Process them privately. Write in a journal. Talk to a therapist. These are safe spaces to work through your feelings without risking relationships. Remember, relationships are complex. It's normal to have both positive and negative feelings about the people in your life. The key is to address issues directly with the person involved. not talk about them behind their back. 9. Your personal mantras or beliefs. Our deepest beliefs and personal mantras are like our inner compass. They guide us through life's storms. But here's why you should keep them close to your chest. Firstly, not everyone will understand or respect your beliefs. Sharing them opens you up to criticism, mockery, or unwanted attempts to change your mind. I remember when I discovered meditation in my 60s. It changed my life. But when I shared this, some friends laughed it off as a hippie phase. Moreover, some people might try to use your beliefs against you. They might twist your words or use your mantras out of context. In today's world of social media and instant sharing, this can have far-reaching consequences. There's also something special about keeping your deepest beliefs private. It's like having a secret source of strength that no one can touch or taint. Your personal mantras are yours alone, a direct line to your inner self. So, what should you do instead of sharing your beliefs? Live them. Let your actions speak louder than words. People will notice your peace, your resilience, your kindness. They might ask about your secret. Then, if you choose, you can share, but only with those who genuinely want to understand. Remember, your beliefs are sacred. They don't need anyone else's approval or understanding. They're the quiet force that shapes your life. Treasure them privately. As we age, we gather not just years, but wisdom. Part of that wisdom is knowing what to share and what to keep to ourselves. These 9 things, your age, finances, health, family disputes, political views, passwords, regrets, true feelings, and personal beliefs, are best kept private, not out of shame or secrecy, but out of respect for yourself and others. Remember, discretion isn't about being closed off. It's about protecting your peace, maintaining your dignity, and nurturing your relationships. In a world that's always shouting, sometimes the wisest thing you can do is whisper, or better yet, stay silent and let your life speak for itself. Your life experiences are valuable. They're the jewels you've collected over the years. You don't need to display them all the time. Some are best kept in a safe place, taken out only when truly needed or appreciated. As you navigate your golden years, remember that you have the right to privacy. You've earned it. You don't owe anyone explanations about your age, your bank account, your health, or your beliefs. What you do owe yourself is respect, peace, and the freedom to live life on your own terms. In the end, it's not about keeping secrets. It's about maintaining boundaries. It's about understanding that some things are precious because they're private. It's about recognizing that you are more than the sum of these 9 things. You are a complex, beautiful, ever-evolving human being with a lifetime of experiences. Cherish that, protect that, and most importantly, live that fully and unapologetically. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this advice helpful, please don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. Share your thoughts. But remember, some things are best kept private. Until next time, stay wise, stay discreet, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.